Hey everybody, Scott here from G-System Videos, back from the dead, briefly. This might just be a one-off thing, we'll see. Play it by ear. Anyway, last weekend I was having issues with my Overdrive, so I tore my rig apart and I rebuilt some cables, George L's of course, that's what I use, and I did a factory reset on my Overdrive, and I was getting ready to load back in my Overdrive settings, and I thought, well, I like the original set of 18, but there were a few issues that I had with them in using them for about a year, and I thought, shit, it's time to upgrade. Let's do Overdrive Mark II, shall we? So I went back to the Overdrive drawing board, everybody. Starting from 1, I wanted to make all of the presets as consistent volume-wise as I possibly could. I wanted to incorporate all the G-System has to offer as well. The compression, the gate, the EQ, the reverb, delay, pitch shifting, and modulation. And boost. I like the boost. Some don't, whatever. But so this time, they're not just Overdrive presets, they're G-System presets with proprietary Overdrive settings to go with each one of them. And I spent about 3 or 4 days this week working on these. I specially tailored all of the compression, all of the EQs, the delays, reverbs, pitch shifting, and modulation for these particular presets. I left the modulations out, so they're optional. You can bring it in and out as you want. They're different as you go along, all very subtle, because the star of the show here is the Overdrive settings. So I've kept the delays and the reverbs to a minimum. There's a couple presets in here that showcase the way I use the reverb and the delay, so you can get some nice ambient settings. I think clean number 4 or 5 has a nice reverb to it. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play through the entire set, all the way from 1 to 18. Actually, 0 to 18, because this one is my clean with no Overdrive. Nothing in the loop. So let's start from the beginning. Let's hear a little bit of my clean. Now that was just my my modded Fender Blues Junior, a really humble little amplifier. And think about it this way, if I can make this little amp sound this good with the Overdrive and the G-System, just think of what your big kid amps are going to sound like. You show-offs with your Engels and your Bogners and your Marshalls and your Diesels and your ham radios, whatever, you kids. Anyway, let's move along. Clean number 1 utilizes the lowest gain setting on the Overdrive, and I've tailored the compression and the delay and the reverb just for it. So let's give it a listen. Moving right along. Clean number 2. Let's hear it. Clean number 3. Let's hear that. Now the last of the clean series, number 4. and you'll hear it start to, it's starting to get there, it's starting to get a little hair on it. And I have adjusted the compression just so that at the bottom of the scale, or bottom of the range I should say, the cleans, it has the most compression. I'm using 4:1. And then by the time we get to the raging metal, I've backed off on the compressor, and we're down to 8:1. It just makes more sense when, to me, to get a bigger open sound out of the guitar when there's more gain, rather than to squeeze it. It sort of makes the solos sound a little bit, just weird to me. Not my thing. So anyway, here we go, number 4. Moving on to the dirt. Yeah. You'll notice that I'm playing 2 clips, and the first clip is without the modulation that I've made for each patch, and then I bring the modulation in. You can't see it on here because I recorded the audio separately from this because I no longer have the same gear that I used to have. So anyway, the 2 clips are just the standard setting, and then the second is with the modulation. And they're very subtle. I wanted them to be usable in all of the patches and not be really obnoxious. I wanted them to work well with the sound and not sort of stand out, not show up the Nova Drive. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's hear the dirt number 1. Dirt number 2, we've got the gate in effect, and it's been in effect since I think clean number 5. We had built up enough gain at that point to warrant the gate coming in. Now, those of you that use the ISP, just turn the gate off. Don't use that. I'm thinking about getting the ISP myself, because on some of these later settings, this gate sort of does some funky things to the tone a little bit, for my taste. Although I really don't use those tones very often. I play mostly the most overdrive I use is in the dirt channel. I play mostly clean stuff, so hey, that's just me. That's just how I roll. All right, dirt number 2. Dirt number 3. Dirt number 4. And the last of the dirt series. Now, up until this point, I have been playing my Warmoth Telecaster with the Bigsby on it. Goddamn thing won't stay in tune for shit. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, it's a Warmoth Tele that I built in 2001. It's got a stacked single coil in the bridge, and that's the only pickup on it. It's an Esquire, I guess you'd call it. And Swamp Ash, very neutral sounding guitar, not super bright, not like a Nashville kind of sounding Tele. It's more of a I guess an alt country kind of thing. It's like a 72 Tele sounding kind of. Anyway, that's the guitar I've used up to this point. And let's hear number 5.